What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Panda here, and we are back again with the update about summons. Every week we have a summoning session. Every week I make this video talking about the summon session and going over the people that are in that summon session. So this week we have a special invocation and a special divine, which basically just means we have a 10x. It's nothing crazy. It's none of your 2x by 10x. It's no 1+1. It's no guaranteed, right? We're taking a little, and I mean this very, very seriously, a very small break from that. And the reason I say that is because this weekend's summoning banner has some really good champions. It has really good champions in it. So it's really good for everybody. Even if you already have Eloin, even if you already have, you know, all of these epics, because we have a new champion, Anai. So Anai is a new champion coming to the game. She is an infernal mage, and she looks really good. Don't worry, we will have a video talking specifically about Anai a little bit later, but she looks really good. I think she looks amazing, like art-wise. I also think her kit looks pretty interesting. I do like the burning aspect here, and the heroes deals 15% more damage to targets inflicted with burning. So she's going to inflict burning, but we also have people like Zillatu who are in the Infernal faction who also inflict burning. So a lot of synergy there. And then the damage will inflict 4 stacks of burning, and then during the effect continuously refresh burning inflicted by the hero. So definitely could see some crazy damage from burning coming out of her. Unfortunately, her magic attack, or her basic attack, is only one enemy, so a little disappointing. We're not going to see a lot of use for her in Gear Raid 1. However, if you did pull Boreas or Boreas, however you want to say it, you're probably set there, so nothing crazy. Definitely going to go a little more in-depth on Anai a little bit later, but she does look really fun. The reason I say that this banner is really good for everyone is because of the epics that are on this banner. Now, Imani is good, don't get me wrong. Nothing crazy. If you are missing all of the infernal DPS, she actually can do a pretty good job in Guild Boss if you have a Pyros, Twin Fiend, or Sulcanens. So not terrible. And of course, if you're pulling on this banner, you might have a chance at picking up Anai, who I think is going to do pretty well in Guild Boss as well. We'll have to see what that looks like. However, we also have both Harpoon and Damon. And the reason that these two champions are important is not because they're good champions, but because they are used in the Abomination fusion. Now, Abomination is a very good champion. He's a free legendary that everyone has the ability to get through fusion, and he does require both Harpoon and Damon in order to fuse him. So if you haven't already gotten your Abomination fused, this could be the banner that will help you get some of those champions. Now, of course, you are still going to need to get the other two champions, which is Vortex and somebody that I can't think of off the top of my head. I feel like it's one of the other fusions. Komodo. Yeah, it's Komodo, right? So if you happen to have an extra Vortex laying around, but you don't have a Komodo and you don't have a Harpoon or a Damon, you could theoretically get this done this weekend because you can fuse Komodo and you could pull Harpoon and Damon in order to fuse your Abomination. Now, this is, again, mostly going to be for newer players, right? Because if you've been playing for a little bit of time, odds are you've pulled Abomination, you've already done the fusion, or you decided you didn't want to do the fusion, but you have the champions already lying around. So we'll have to see what that looks like for each individual account, but overall, I think it's going to be a good weekend when it comes for rares if you don't already have Abomination fused. I don't personally think that either of these champions are that good. Damon is a Nightmare champion, so you could use him for the Nightmare bonus if you have the Lord in Wrath. Harpoon, it doesn't seem crazy good. I think he has some viability in some places, like he does. Here we go. He does AoE on his ultimate, so he has some potential in Gear Raid 3, but there's just better options. Overall, I don't think any of these 3 epics are really worth building. Imani, again, is okay in Guild Boss, but is highly outshined by all the other Infernal DPS, so I wouldn't recommend investing in her at the moment. And of course, the other 2 are mainly just for Abomination. However, the legendaries in this event, like I said, Anai is really good. We haven't talked about the other one, as Slicks would call her, Grass Waifu, Our Lady Elowen. And I gotta say, man, Elowen is probably one of the best healers in the game, if not the best healer in the game, both for her ability to heal, outside of her healing range, and also her ability to generate rage for the party. The reason why she's so good is because she has so much built into her kit. She has this generating rage passive, which is very good in places such as Guild Boss, Immortal Codex, and really anywhere you use her, right? Rage equals ultimate, ultimates equal damage, survivability, healing, whatever. Rage is the lifeblood of your character. That is how you do the damage that you want to do with the champions you have. So having rage built in is great. And this goes down to 3 seconds and 3% of their rage cap, which is very powerful. Then we have this Elf of the Forest ability, which summons one wood elf that heals surrounding allies every 0.5 seconds. This is really good because it allows you to heal outside of her normal healing range. You can place this elf on literally any ground platform. So if you put Elowen on the left side with all of your champions and Guild Boss, but you put Valeria over on the right side for whatever reason, you can heal Valeria on the right side even though she's out of Elowen's range. Very important, really, really cool. I love this ability. I can't wait to see if I have a chance to get my Elowen this weekend, because I currently still don't have her. But this passive is amazing. And then, of course, we have her ultimate. And her ultimate is really good for a couple reasons. One, it does a ton of healing, which is very powerful. Of course, she is a healer. We want healing. The other thing that this does is it dispels all debuffs for all allies in range. This is very powerful for several reasons. However, the thing that it's the most powerful for probably in this moment is Immortal Codex. On the second boss, the Wasteland Titan, you have the healing reduction buff, and you need to dispel it. If you already have Medan, which you should, because Madonna is the most common epic in the game, you will have the ability, if you have an Elowen, to dispel all of the towers, which means you'll be able to keep them alive for a lot longer because you'll remove the healing debuff that they receive, which means your heals will be more valuable for the duration of the fight. This means that you're going to actually have a huge score increase just by adding Elowen to your team in order to dispel the healing debuff. Probably the main reason I want her is because of this, because Immortal Codex, the second boss, is one of the worst ones that I have, right? My best one is definitely that first one, the Conqueror. The second and the third, I'm struggling. I think Elowen will solve that second one for me pretty easily. I think I'll easily be able to get an S if I happen to pull her. So this ultimate, very, very powerful. And then her basic is just attack-based, healing to 3 allies in range. We love that, right? Elowen, Grass Waifu, whatever you want to call her, definitely a hot pull this weekend if you have the ability to pull. I know a lot of us just burned a ton of shards, a ton of gems, probably dropped a ton of money for those spenders out there on the last couple weeks of banners, because they've all been very, very good, including the 1+1, the really good 2 times by 10 times on Boreas, and etc., etc., etc. But if you have the ability to pull this weekend, and you are close to or can get to a pity, I highly recommend trying to go and getting your hands on Elowen, unless you, of course, already have her. Her awakenings, I believe, are not very, not super crazy. We have Grace of Nature, reduces damage taken. That's nice, but nothing crazy. Each basic attack launched has a 20% chance to dispel debuffs from allies. That's nice, but I don't think it's ridiculously powerful. It's okay. Really good in Codex, probably, but nothing crazy. And then you get a Wood Elf immediately after using Grace of Nature. It's nice, but you can only have one Wood Elf out, if I remember correctly. Yeah, only one Wood Elf can be present on the field, so nothing super crazy there. You know, maybe if you're like A2, you could summon for an A3 for the Immortal Codex, because the extra debuff Dispel would be really good. But other than that, getting a first copy of Elowen would be very good. Again, I also think Anai is pretty good as well. Again, there'll be a video specifically about her, but I do think that we're going to see some really cool stuff about her here soon. But guys, that's it for this weekend. We just have those 2 summon events. We, of course, have some other stuff going on here as well. We have the Corridor of Glory, Brave Conquest, Tales of the Smith, Treasure Hunt, and we have the 7-day sign-in. I'm not sure everything that you're going to get, but we'll have to see what that is. But could be pretty interesting stuff. I do see some regular summons, which is always nice. We can use them here, right? But that's going to be it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to leave a comment down below about, are you summoning this weekend? Do you even have anything that you can use to summon this weekend? I know, Slicks, if you're watching this video, I want to know how much you're gonna spend to get Grass Waifu this weekend, because I know you're gonna spend and pull until you get her. But guys, that's it for me today. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to see content from me in the future. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.